we'd like to kindly invite PG to do the first introductions for the event. Thank you.
Dear friends, thank you everybody for coming today. We are here to test and stimulate our curiosity, to learn new things, and thereby empower ourselves to face our life more effectively, to use the best of what we have to be even better beings than what we are. And in that sense, it seems the right thing to do to start by asking a question. Because everything what we are doing today is based on encouraging each other to have our voices heard. So there are two sentences here: leave no one behind and reach those furthest behind first. Now, I know some of you know the answer, so don't shout it out. My question is, have you encountered these sentences? And if so, where? On the 25th of September 2015, 193 nations that then constituted the General Assembly of the United Nations made a pledge that from that point on, it actually came into effect on the 1st of January 2016, but they pledged that development will always be underpinned by these two values, that we will never leave anyone behind and we will reach those furthest behind first. And with time, they added detail to this, and then they organized it under 17 different topics, which we know today as the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. The 17 Sustainable Development Goals are underpinned by this promise: leave no one behind and reach those furthest behind first. And if we look at these two, they are not mere iterations of the same concept. They require our commitment, our passion at two different levels. Because leaving no one behind is wonderful. It is to say we are inclusive, we respect everybody. And that respect is demonstrated by the fact that whatever we do, will be open to everybody. But that is similar to saying these doors are open, our university is open to anyone coming. But then the other one, reaching those furthest behind first, is a completely different undertaking. We can't just stay here and say we are reaching. And we can't just reach the lowest hanging fruit, as they say. We have to go in search of places that we have not encountered before. And mind you, when we talk of those furthest behind, we don't have to think in global terms. They exist in our own community. There are people in our community who have never been granted the opportunity to engage. And that is not a fixed demographic. We ourselves might be, in certain circumstances, just left behind with no right to be heard. And not only is that intensely hurtful, demeaning, but it also means the richness of our society is being deprived of the people that really matter. And therefore, my request to all of us today, the wonderful, amazing people who have gathered today, is to pledge ourselves that in our own lives, whatever we do, let's ensure that we leave no one behind. But even more importantly, we go in search of those furthest behind before we do anything else. And if we were to do that, Plymouth then will become indeed what people claim to be the friendliest city on earth. And I see so many wonderful people here who are actually doing that. And we, for our part, are doing it through this organization called Global Plymouth. All Global Plymouth sets out to do is to give an opportunity for everyone to partake in the community. And I'm so grateful that very many of you here are there, are part of that. And in fact, today, at the end of this event, we'll be having an international dinner. And we would love to see all of you. Literally 5 minutes walk from here within the university, we have an international dinner. But the purpose of SWATchat, which is a very strong element of global climate, is actually committing ourselves to this. Because what we are saying is that we cannot ensure that those who are furthest behind are included unless we create the opportunity for their voices to be heard. And that is SWATchat. What we do is we bring a globally renowned expert on a topic of huge importance, which we have done today. We have literally flown in an expert who's literally come here 2 hours ago and is saying goodbye to Plymouth by early tomorrow morning, because that's all that expert could come in, for which we are very grateful. And we have got an amazing panel. And what these panels represent are individual experts from our community, from different perspectives, that represent the beautiful diversity we have. And I'm so grateful, even as we have 3 panelists here, panelists in previous discussions are already here. We are growing this family. And in order to do that, we want to learn. And we want you to come and join us and lead this. This event is being led by the students of the University of Plymouth. We have 3 faculties, and the leaders of this are all from all 3 faculties from different levels: the undergraduate courses, the masters, and the PhDs. And some, in fact, have actually qualified and are now serving. I'm so proud to hear from one who had just passed out with a master's in security when it comes to cybersecurity, and is setting up their own startup company. That is Plymouth. We want to grow together. And I'm so glad. I also know that some students who have just joined us for the summer school, who will go on to become our students and then our alumni, are also here. So welcome to you. Among this audience are heads of school. There are only 12 heads of school in the university, and we have 1 here. We have professors, we have all kinds of amazing people. But above everything, we have the community. And the community is here to discuss a topic that is so vital: artificial intelligence. Because we live in a world where we are being torn apart. We are being torn apart by these centrifugal forces that are going all over and splitting us away and taking us away from our roots. And even as we are being pulled apart, that middle ground is being filled with all kinds of information, all kinds of truths. Till recently, those truths or untruths were generated by humans. But today, we live in a world where non-human systems can generate truths that may, in time, come to define the lives we live. So to discuss this, we got a person who's not just one of the greatest researchers of artificial intelligence, a person who has actually walked the walk, who had created, using artificial intelligence, algorithms that have saved the medical world literally millions. But we also have a person who cares about the world, and that is why we insisted on him coming for this. He's a person who's published, the publication history is mad. He has Lancet, BMJ, Frontier, everything. A person who is so impactful that the PhD thesis was awarded the most impactful research of the year it was published. That is the promise this man brings to us. Today, he has his hands everywhere, but probably the most relevant to us is he's the principal investigator of the Ghana Prevent Program, which is a multi-million-dollar, multi-university, multi-center trial that may define dementia as it's encountered in the world to come. Amazing research. But he also is a person who sits in funding bodies and is a reviewer who decides where the money should go. in spite of all that, is an amazingly humble person. I've known him for a long time, and it's a huge privilege to have the honor to introduce this man that is known as Dr. Samuel Danso. To say, the format will be that Sammy will introduce the concept, and then soon after we have 3 experts who will be introduced during turn from our local community. Sammy may one day end up in Keynote too, if we are lucky. But we have our local experts who give feedback. Then we break down, we stop for some refreshments, amazing refreshments provided by the University of Keynote. Then we come back and we would love a community open discussion where everybody has a chance to speak. At the end of that, we would be honored if you join us to an international dinner, which is literally 5 minutes walking distance within the same campus. So that's the format of the day. Sammy, thanks so much, and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much for kind introduction.